Does your week feel like never-ending chaos? We don't plan, we drift. So often we catch ourselves so deeply involved in someone else's urgencies. It's about reclaiming your time and life's chaos doesn't have to own you. In just 30 minutes a week, you can regain control, set clear priorities, and create unstoppable momentum. This isn't just planning, it's designing your success story. Does your week feel like never-ending chaos? Missed deadlines, forgotten tasks, and constant stress? What if I told you that in just 30 minutes a week, you can turn all of that around? Welcome to the ultimate weekly planning routine. Let's face it, most of us are more reactive when it comes to life. We start our weeks hoping for the best, only to find ourselves firefighting already by Wednesday. What is the problem? We don't plan, we drift. We go along with what life brings without setting any anchors. Imagine you drive a car without any steering wheel and on top of that on the ice. Whatever you'll encounter on the way will steer you to a different direction. You wouldn't like that, would you? But what if you set the anchors and create the points that will help you stay closer to the ground? What if you could set a clear path every week so you know exactly what to focus on, when and why? Weekly planning isn't just a productivity hack, it's your way of taking control. Let me give you an example of what this process could look like. It's a 5-step process to plan your week so that you can feel more in the control of what you do. Step 1, reflect. Your week really starts before it even begins. Remember, it's always easier to connect the dots when you look backwards. Start by reviewing your past week. What worked, what didn't. Celebrate your wins and note the areas for improvement. The reflection sets the tone for the forward momentum and helps you learn and define what kind of changes you will bring in the following week. Step 2, brainstorm. Now, let's see what you actually need to do. If you don't have it, dump every task, goal and responsibility for the coming week onto the list. This is between professional, your life, and the health priorities, so that your focus and your mind is completely free of anything that you need to do, that you have everything listed out and you can review it as you go into the next step. Step 3, prioritize. Use the tools like Eisenhower matrix to separate from what is urgent and what is important. Remember, not everything deserves your time, and so often we catch ourselves so deeply involved in someone else's urgencies that we don't have time to focus on what really matters to us. Focus on the top 20% of the tasks that bring 80% of the results. But in a nutshell, there's a rule that indicates that the majority of the scenarios you are able to identify the small amount of action, be it 10, 15, 30%, that brings majority of the value to what you do. So this is really the ultimate way to prioritize what to focus on doing next. Step 4, schedule. Now you have your list and you prioritized it. This is where your plan really becomes real. Time block your calendar for key tasks that you want to deliver in the week. Set 3 main priorities for each day, batch similar activities together, and add some buffer time for unexpected events. It always happens, life always brings something to us. And if you have meetings, for example, that you cannot cancel, work around them. There are always ways for you to slot those little blocks of time in your calendar so that you can focus on what you prioritize during your review process. And even better, if you can free up time by canceling some of those meetings that don't fall into priorities, that's perfect. Now you have the whole map of the week. And some additional tip, plan your hardest task during the energy hours. So when you are most alert and when you know that usually you can focus more. This is where you can get even more done by optimizing what you do during the day according to the hours where you feel that you have the most energy to actually do something. Have you ever felt when you are about to do something that is really important for the project, but you just don't feel like it and you don't have energy to do that? Those times are usually better for you to focus on more admin tasks, right? For example, reading your emails or reviewing a project that you don't really need to focus too much on bringing that creative energy or analytical part, but you can still deliver something that is on your priority list and that you actually have to do. All of us have this kind of work. Finally, step 5, adjust and adapt. Life happens and flexibility is the key. Every day, at least midweek, revisit your plan. What's working? What needs to shift? Planning isn't rigid, it's dynamic and you need to adjust it as you go. There was never a plan that was executed exactly in a way that was planned. You always need to navigate. Life always throws something different. With this system, you will move through the week with way more confidence and the control over what you do. And above all, you know that you accounted for everything that's in your list. Here's why this method works. First of all, it's simple, repeatable, and designed to bring the real results. By planning weekly, you're aligning your daily actions with what are your long-term goals. You'll stop reacting to life and you will slowly start designing it. You'll become the master of your week as opposed to the slave of what you need to do every day and what other people actually ask you on a random basis to do. So here's the summary. Block 30 minutes this Sunday to plan your next week. Create any planning template that you want to use. Start with the 5-step system. Reflect, brainstorm, prioritize, schedule, and adjust. And then share your weekly wins in the comments so that you can inspire others and also everyone can learn from what kind of techniques you actually used. Finally, weekly planning isn't just about staying organized. It's about reclaiming your time and creating the space in your calendar and in your time for what truly matters. You can start small, but the most important is for you to stay consistent, and then you will slowly see how everything transforms and you will suddenly have more time to focus on what really matters to you.